Welcome to another quarterly portfolio update. If you are stopping by for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. In this video, I will share with you how much I invested in my taxable account during the second quarter of 2025, how many shares I bought, and the value of my portfolio at the end of the quarter, which was June the 30th. I will also show you how much dividend I received for the quarter. But as always, before I continue, a quick disclaimer. The information that I'm sharing is not financial advice. Before you invest in anything, please do your own research and make sure that you only invest in things that you understand. With that being said, I will dive right into my quarterly portfolio update. I will start with a quick recap of my Q1 2025 portfolio to show you the value of the portfolio and how many shares I had before the beginning of Q2 2025. The total value of my portfolio at the end of Q1 2025 was $84,043.21. $83,913.40 was the market value of my investments, and $129.81 was the cash amount. At the end of Q1 2025, the total unrealized profit of my portfolio was at $21,466.02. This was plus 34.34%. These are my holdings: 2 Vanguard ETFs and 2 BlackRock ETFs. VCN is a Vanguard ETF that tracks the Canadian market. I had 106 shares of VCN at the end of Q1 2025. VFV is a Vanguard ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. This is the Canadian version of VOO. I had 304 shares of VFV at the end of Q1 2025. XEQT is a BlackRock ETF. This is an all-in-one equity ETF which holds Canadian equities, US equities, developed market equities outside of North America, and emerging market equities. If you want to hold a single equity ETF which is globally diversified, you might consider looking into XEQT or its Vanguard equivalent, VEQT. I had 534 shares of XEQT at the end of Q1 2025. XUU is a BlackRock ETF that tracks the US total stock market, and I had 288 shares of XUU at the end of Q1 2025. I will now show you how much I invested during the second quarter of 2025 and how many shares I bought. I bought 2 shares of VCN. The cost per share was $48.04. The total cost, $96.08. This is 1% of the amount that I invested in Q2 2025. I bought 30 shares of VFV. The cost per share was $138.13. The total cost, $4,143.92. This is 55% of the amount that I invested in Q2 2025. I bought 44 shares of XEQT. The cost per share was $33.82. The total cost, $1,488. This is 20% of the amount that I invested in Q2 2025. I bought 32 shares of XUU. The cost per share was $57.65. The total cost, $1,844.93. This is 24% of the amount that I invested in Q2 2025. In total, I bought 108 shares, all ETFs combined, and the amount that I invested in Q2 2025 was $7,572.93. This is $2,928.76 more than the amount that I invested in Q1 2025. As you can see, in Q1, I invested $4,644.17, and in Q2, $7,572.93. The difference is $2,928.76. The total value of my portfolio at the end of Q2 2025 was $96,681.54. $96,438.82 was the market value of my investments, and $242.72 was the cash amount. At the end of Q2 2025, the total unrealized profit of my portfolio was $26,353.09. This was plus 37.60%. At the end of Q2 2025, which was June the 30th, I had 108 shares of VCN. This was 6.12% of the market value of my portfolio. 334 shares of VFV. This was 51.77% of the market value of my portfolio. 508 shares of XEQT. This was 21.28% of the market value of my portfolio. And 320 shares of XUU. This was 20.57% of the market value of my portfolio. Alright, I will now show you how much dividend I received for the quarter. In order for you to receive an upcoming dividend payment, you have to be the shareholder on the record date. I had 108 shares of VCN on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 35 cents. The dividend amount that I received for VCN was $37.57. This is 10% of the dividend amount that I received in Q2 2025. I had the 334 shares of VFV on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 37 cents. The dividend amount that I received for VFV was $123.30. This is 34% of the dividend amount that I received in Q2 2025. I had 578 shares of XEQT on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 27 cents. The dividend amount that I received for XEQT was $154.33. This is 43% of the dividend amount that I received in Q2 2025. I had 320 shares of XUU on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 15 cents. The dividend amount that I received for XUU was $47.04. And this is 13% of the dividend amount that I received in Q2 2025. The total amount of dividend that I received in Q2 2025 was $362.24. This is $112.97 more than the amount that I received in Q1 2025. As you can see, in Q1 I received $249.27, and in Q2, $362.24. The difference is $112.97. The two BlackRock ETFs, XEQT and XUU, paid a high dividend amount per share in Q2 than they did in Q1, whereas the two Vanguard ETFs, VCN and VFV, paid a lower dividend amount per share in Q2. You can see on this dividend payout table that XEQT paid almost 27 cents per share in Q2 2025 versus 9 cents per share in Q1 2025. This is an increase of $196.67. XEQT pays a higher dividend amount per share in Q2 and Q4 than it does in Q1 and Q3. So I expect to receive a lower dividend amount per share for XEQT in Q3 2025, which will be at the end of September. As for XUU, it paid almost 15 cents per share in Q2 2025 versus 14 cents per share in Q1 2025. This is an increase of 3.52%. You can see that VCN paid almost 35 cents per share in Q2 2025 versus 37 cents per share in Q1 2025. This is a decrease of 6.15% on top of the 4.59% decrease in Q1. VFV also paid a lower dividend amount per share in Q2 than it did in Q1, 37 cents versus 40 cents. This is a decrease of 7.27%. Alright, I will share my Q3 2025 dividend update in 3 months. In the meantime, I will stay the course and keep investing consistently. Feel free to leave a comment below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Peace out.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.